So, what is estrogen? So, it's one of the sex hormones that is essential for male and female health and sexual development. It's part of our sexual health, our fertility health, heart health, brain health. It works on our mood, our bones. Obviously, we know about the connection with low estrogen and osteoporosis. It is part of our immune system. It's responsible for fat storage and healthy cholesterol levels. So when estrogen is in balance, all of those things will be lovely. We will be in, good fat burn, good fat storing, and all that stuff will be great. When estrogen is out of balance, one way or another, those things are going to take the hit. So estrogen is a pro-growth hormone, and progesterone offsets the growth effects of estrogen. And what I really want to start getting clear about is it's not that, there is no good hormones and bad hormones. They're all great hormones. Although having battled with estrogen dominance quite a lot of my life, there were plenty of times where I thought that estrogen was the devil. But we need them, all of our hormones. I always like to imagine a seesaw. So what we want is we want our estrogen, but we want it opposed by progesterone. We need this seesaw to be balanced. As soon as we have low progesterone, the seesaw is going to become imbalanced. Or as soon as we've got high estrogen, the seesaw is going to get imbalanced. And as soon as I like to think about this seesaw analogy with all of the hormones. So, later on we talk about blood sugars, cortisol and insulin, seesaw, progesterone, and cortisol, seesaw. It's this lovely sort of, just this visual of our hormones need to be in this state of balance where they are opposing each other. And I think that's a key message, particularly when you start to work with people with things like endometriosis, where the medical approach is contraception, when you start looking at synthetic HRTs, when we start looking at what really happens in the body, you start to see that a lot of the approaches mean that our hormones are unopposed, and therefore a lot of the sticking plaster approaches that the medical model offer are actually contributing to the problems themselves. So once we get the idea of what the seesaw should look like when someone's not estrogen dominant, then we want to carry that through in how we are educating them around things like the contraceptives, around things like HRT. So there are three main types of estrogen. So there's estrone, which is called E1, and this is the menopause estrogen. So the all three estrogens are present in the body, but they kind of clock up and clock back down again depending on what's going on in terms of a life cycle. So this is the menopausal estrogen. However, it's also the primary type of estrogen in males. It's pretty inactive. And so it's not one that's actually used even as an HRT because it's a very inactive form of estrogen. So we have estradiol, and this one, anybody who's on an HRT will probably know about because it's the stuff that's in the pumps, stuff that's in your patches. So estradiol, this is the most active form of estrogen, and this is the one that gives us the fertility. So very, very potent. And its concentration is highest in females of childbearing age. And this is the estrogen that is used as a marker for ovary health. And like I said, this is the one that is in the contraceptives. This is the one that is in HRTs. Then we have estriol, which is E3, which is the one that is most common in pregnancy. So the placenta produces this type of estrogen and it reaches its peak levels during pregnancy. And the amount of estriol increases as the fetus grows. And estriol, you might have heard of estriol if you are working with anyone who's on bioidentical hormones, because estriol is used along with estradiol in bioidentical hormones because it's considered to be a little bit less jarring for the body, particularly postmenopausally.